Did it last night, I've done it again. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're all well. Gameweek29, deadline stream, double game week. We're going to go through my team, potential transfers. I don't think I'm going to make any more, but there is a small chance that I do, particularly if we get any early team news from the Liverpool game. Let me know who is here already. Say hello in the chat. Start asking your questions. It's good to be here. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do a deadline stream, but I do enjoy it, so I'm glad that I'm able to. I've got my cup of tea, as always. I got my bottle of water, as always. So we are set for the next couple of hours. We should be live up until the deadline. So yeah, let's see who's in here. Say hello if you are watching already. And start firing in your questions. As always, my team is up on screen. If you think there's a key question that you'd like added to the board over on the other hand side, then let me know and I will do that. Morning Sponge, how are we doing? Ahmed, Ayan, Peter, Stivek, Klitsch, Peter again, Tater, Khalid, Archie, Matthew, Tartan, Referee, George, Flavius, Unu, Sponge, Shamkur, Paulo, Alexander, Brian, Bawa, Koopsy, Jahas, Frederick. For someone with dyslexia, trying to read names like that is actually so impossible. Torgear, Gino, Forever QPR, Lewis, Harith, C Wobblers, Ryan. Good morning, everyone. So, my team up on screen now is what I think I'm going to go into the game week with. It was an awful game week for me last week. And I made 2 early transfers this week. I sold Dennis to Harry Kane. I had 6.6 million in the bank, so that was a very easy transfer to do. And then I also decided to sell Bowen and buy Kulusevski. Now, Kulusevski had a double this week and plays next week. I know Bowen does, in theory, have a fixture next week, but I wasn't that sure that he was actually going to be available to play in the first place. So those are the 2 moves that I made. I'm happy that I made them because it does look like there's a good chance that Bowen misses out of that game. But happy that I made those moves early on. Caught a few price changes. I'm going into the game week with 7 double game week players, which is probably less than I originally... Well, it's more than I originally thought I would, but probably less than a lot of people are going to do now. So I'm hoping for a little bit of magic from some of those single game week players. I am starting Cancelo this week. I do think he'll play. So a few of you in the chat asking this question already. I do think Cancelo will be fine for this game week. I am starting Jimenez at the moment over Watkins. Is my only dilemma out of my benching decisions. Dean and Kilman I'm very happy to leave on the bench. Need to see whether Kilman comes back into that Wolves lineup or not, because I need him for game week 30. So yeah, let's get into a few of your questions. Just while I go and do so, 150 of you watching, good morning. Thank you all for joining. If you could like the stream just as we get started, if we could try and hit 50 likes, it does help the stream get shared around a little bit more and it would help me out a lot as we are streaming currently before the masses go live. So would appreciate a quick like early on, and let's get into a few of your questions. Would I start Dubravka of Saar? I would go for the double game week goalkeeper. I know that Saar probably has an easier fixture than Dubravka does in either of his games, but I'd go with starting Dubravka. Bench Rafinha or Broja? I'd probably bench Broja just because I just still think there's something in these games for Rafinha. Yeah, I would bench Broja. I think there's also a chance that people are talking about him not starting because of the knock he picked up and potentially on the bench this week. But thoughts on Reece James' injury? So I currently think in my mind that he might be back by game week 31. If you have the ability to hold him and you don't need to sell him for the next 2, then you can. But I suppose it depends on your team and whether you need him for game week 29 and game week 30 as well, when he obviously wouldn't have a fixture even if he was fit. Bench Broja or Weghorst? It's a big game. Part of me would want to play Weghorst there. But Broja is playing against that Watford defence, so I would probably play Broja out of those 2. Would I play Sarr or Forster, as in Southampton Forster? I'd probably play Forster, to be honest. That's a pretty close one. Sarr is playing an Everton team, but it is away for him. So, yeah. Would I consider making a wildcard video for Game Week 30? I will not be making a wildcard video for Game Week 30 because I think Game Week 30 is an awful time to play a wildcard. Game Week 31, there will be a wildcard video out because that is a good time to play your wildcard. Playing your wildcard into a week where Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea all blank is definitely not the right time to be playing your wildcard. So, why not sell Coutinho? So from my rules on the other hand side, one of them is I wouldn't go selling Coutinho, especially if it's for a hit. Well, he plays next game week anyway. He's on such good form. He's playing a West Ham team that are looking far from, secure defensively. So if I had Coutinho, I definitely wouldn't be selling him. Good morning, FPL Dare. How are we? My planned moves have already been made. So I made a move of Dennis to Kane, and I made a move of Bowen to Kulusevski. I don't know if I can put that in the little chat. No questions made all your moves last night with all the price rises. Fair enough. I think there were quite a few people looking at making moves last night, maybe waiting for press conference embargoed quotes, but I think a lot of people may have moved last night. Start Gray or Watkins. I would play Gray. I don't have that much faith in Watkins given that he's also on my bench this week. So yeah, he's there. I would probably go with starting Gray over Watkins. Would I sell Dean for Doherty? I don't love that, but if it's for free, I probably would. But it's not quite the same thing as the Coutinho move. I probably would do that, especially if you were going to start Dean this week. If Dean was going to be on your bench this week, then think about who the player in your starting lineup is that you were going to bench, because then you'd have to bench them, and you're effectively doing that move. Next week for the double, it's pretty even. Maybe you'd slightly favour Doherty, but there's not going to be that much in it next week, I don't think. So look who you're going to bench. If it's for a hit, I probably wouldn't, but start Rudiger or Ben White. That's quite close. Again, I don't know what the predicted points tool is saying on those. Just outsource all my decisions for these things. White, 5.9. My initial decision is play the double game week player, 5.1. And especially with the form Newcastle have been in, I would probably go with Ben White and hope he gets, 4 or 5. Son or Kulu on wildcard alongside Kane and Doherty. If you're going for a wildcard, I'd probably go Kulu just because of his price. Going Son, Kane on a wildcard is then, if you're wanting Salah as well, it's very difficult to get the rest of the players in that we'd want. Like if you then want to go for a premium defence like Trent, Cancelo, James, it's very difficult to get. So, hey, Prithav, how are we doing? Kane against United's captain looks more tempting than Salah in his form. Salah's predicted to score more points this week. They're both playing Brighton away. Arsenal away is maybe slightly more difficult, but we know what Salah can do. He gets the extra point for a goal, the clean sheet. It's just easier for Salah to haul than Kane to haul. And I think with the games against Manchester United and Brighton, they're two teams that are going to come out and attack Spurs, which means that Kane is likely to drop deep, whereas like Son and Kulu are going to go and attack and run in behind, which tends to be what happens when there are teams that come and attack Spurs. So that's my thinking of what's going to happen in that game. I've still got my bench boost, my free hit, and my wild card left. Not playing any of them this week. So if you do still have your triple captain left this week, I do really think you should consider playing it on Salah. If you want to play it on Kane as well, then consider it. But I would go Salah this week, and I think it's a very good time to be playing your triple captain. Phillips, how are we doing? Would I use triple captain this week on Salah? I would wait. Well, if you've got your bench boost still to play, then I would play it this week. If you don't have your bench boost and you're not going to free hit in game week 36 and you're looking at game week 36 and thinking, I might just not have any chips to play that week, then consider holding it. That is the only situation that I would consider holding it this week, is if you're going into game week 36 thinking, I don't have a single chip to play. If you're thinking of free hitting 36, you're thinking of bench boosting 36, that is a better option, and play your triple captain this week is the way I would go. You have Cancelo, Trent, Rudiger, White and Doherty. Who would I bench? Or I could bench Jimenez or Rafinha. Out of those, it would either be Rudiger or Jimenez or Rafinha. I probably would bench Jimenez, to be honest. No problem, Eddie. I hope you're well. Rafinha or Barnes on wildcard? I'd go Barnes. Long-term Leicester assets are better. It just saves you a transfer. Yes, this week Rafinha has Norwich and Barnes has a difficult fixture. But between now and the end of the season, Barnes plays about 2 extra games. Again, it depends. Yeah, I'd probably go Barnes. James Ward-Prowse, Bowen and King to Saka, Martinelli and Kane. I mean, all of those transfers make sense. You're selling 3 single game week players who might not even play for 3 double game week players. My question to you is, would you have started those 3 players that you're selling originally anyway? If they were going to be on your bench, then who are you benching as a result? If you were going to start them anyway, then yes, that -8 is a no-brainer. They are 3 good transfers. They might be for -8, but they are good moves. But like, my potential transfer that I could still make would be Kilman to Doherty. But then I've got to think, okay, yes, that transfer is worth it, because this week and next week combined, Doherty would outscore Kilman by 4 points. But the player that I would actually have to bench this week isn't Kilman. So I've got to have that in mind as well. Abby Manu, thank you very much for the super chat. 9 double game week players and Rafinha and Broja in your bench. You've got Coutinho, Dubravka, Kilman, Rudiger. Should I bench boost? Coutinho, Dubravka, Kilman, Rudiger with Rafinha and Broja. I probably... Could you do like Kilman to Doherty or Kilman to another doubling defender to play your bench boost? But I would bench boost that. I think that's good enough to bench boost. Rudiger could get a clean sheet. Coutinho could easily get something. Kilman not. Like, your predicted points with that team is probably 50, with that bench is probably 15 plus. So I probably would play it. If you have your wild card left, then I would consider saving it for game week 36. But I think you can get away with that. Potentially look at one more transfer, maybe of a Kilman out to a doubling defender. But that team is definitely worth a bench boost, I think. 400 of you watching. Good morning, everyone, and thank you. I will get to... Sorry, I just read a comment. Daniel, I apologise. I've got so many questions. I tried to get through as many of them as possible. 400 of you watching. Thank you all very much for tuning in this morning. If you guys could like the stream as well, get it shared out. If we could hit 100 likes, that would be great. Please don't leave it for someone else. And I apologise if I'm not answering your questions, but I tried to get through as many of them as I can. Were triple captaining Salah? Yes, I would. Sell Mopai for Lacazette for a hit? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think it's worth a -4. Dyer goal loading. Steve, you'd love that. I don't mind it, to be fair. Dyer's pretty low owned, but I would hope for some actual returns from my team this week is what I'm going with. Any news on the Liverpool COVID situation? No. Not that I've seen this morning. I haven't had loads of time to check Twitter this morning because a 9 o'clock stream is fine on a Saturday, but I don't give myself much time to get ready and prepare. But Kulusevski or Son for Bowen. If you can get Son, then Son is a better option than Kulusevski, but Kulusevski is half the price. So between the two of them, I would, Kulusevski allows you to do a lot more. But if you can get Bowen, then if you can get Son, then go Son. That's what I would go. Any news on Broja? Again, there's not been any more news than the rumours that we've had on either Liverpool or Broja. So we're having to wait and see what's going to happen. There's rumours that people think that Broja might get benched. I don't necessarily see it myself. Now, the Liverpool news, it seems like the only player at risk from the players that we own is Van Dijk, but not that many people own Van Dijk, so I wouldn't worry too much about the rumours for the time being. If we get an update, if we get anything, I will share it with you as soon as I can. Kilman and James to Van Dijk and Doherty, bench Broja. So Ahmed, Van Dijk is one of the players that is rumoured to have COVID for Liverpool. So I wouldn't go bringing him in with that transfer in for James. If you can just do Kilman to Doherty for free, I probably would do that. Or look at another doubling defender, but there aren't that many great ones. So I probably wouldn't do it for -4. I'd maybe do Kilman to Doherty and then just play Broja is probably the way I would go with that. Bowen as captain and Salah vice. You run the risk that Salah's the person with the COVID issues, but I don't think it is. Bench 1, Rafinha, Broja, Jimenez. I'd probably go Jimenez there, to be honest. How am I doing? Who would I play? You have 2 free spots in your starting 11. Dean, Lamptey, Broja or Weghorst. If you can, I'd play, Lamptey with the double, but they're dreadful doubles, right? I'd probably go the 2 strikers if you can fit them in. If you don't, if the formation doesn't allow, then I would go Weghorst, Lamptey. Morning all. Thank you all for joining. Coutinho versus West Ham or Hwang. I'd go Coutinho for sure. I don't love Hwang as an option. I think he's a good cheap enabler, but if you have an option to play someone like Coutinho over him, yeah, Coutinho is the one that I'm going with for sure. Bench 1, Weghorst, Coutinho, Broja. Again, Coutinho starts for me every time with a question like that. If I had to go and pick between the other 2, Broja, Weghorst, maybe I should look at predicted points, because trying to pick between the 2 this week is... The issue is the Broja potential benching. Broja has higher predicted points, but he also has that risk that people are saying he's going to be benched. I don't see it personally, so I'd probably play Broja. Well, I know literally 5 minutes ago I said it the other way around. It literally depends on how sure you are that Broja is going to start. If you even have a slight bit of doubt, then go Weghorst. If you think that Broja is going to start, then go with him. I think that's it. I personally think that Broja may start, but only get 60 minutes. So, this predicted point site is fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. There's a link in the description if you want to sign up. Rudiger to Tierney, but already have Ramsdale or Ramsey to Martinelli. Rudiger to Tierney, so double. Or I'd go Ramsey to Martinelli. I think that's a better upgrade for you long term. But you also have to make a defensive transfer, then probably the defensive one. If your defensive one doesn't have to make a move next week. Coutinho or Saiss, I'd play Coutinho this week. I would play Coutinho this week. Bowen to Saka for a -4. Yes, I would do that, because Saka is going to be one of the essential players this week. Do I think Van Dijk will play? I think he might play one of them, but I do worry that the rumours are true. These things you don't tend to get no smoke without fire, or whatever the saying is. Doherty versus Reguilon is an interesting one. It's one that I've looked at on Twitter a little bit, and Doherty is a better long-term pick, but while Sessegnon is out, there's a good chance that Reguilon plays all the games. However, there is a bit of doubt in a lot of people's mind that Reguilon hasn't just been playing just because Sessegnon's been good and because he had COVID. Is there something bigger at play than just those 2 things, which would really concern me? I think I would just go I'd just go Doherty out of the 2. I think. There is a chance that Reguilon is a smart pick, but I would probably go with I'd probably go with Doherty out of the 2. Livramento or Broja? I'd probably go Livramento. Watford are so bad going forward at the moment, and finishing in particular. And then Livramento has the good chance of a attacking return as well. Cancelo update. We don't know anything about Cancelo. He should be fine. I'm expecting him to be fine. He just had an illness, but I don't know anything else. But he's starting for me. So Van Dijk is one of the players that's rumoured to have COVID for Liverpool. We don't know if that is true or not, but he is one of the players that is rumoured to have had it. Forwards under 10 mil. If you're looking to buy one this week, it's probably Lacazette, because he has the double game week and plays next week. If you don't want Lacazette, I really don't know who to buy. Jimenez has Everton this week and Leeds next week. So if we look at forward predicted points over the next 2, or Lacazette, Tony, Richarlison, but I don't love them. It's pretty difficult forward-wise at the moment. The amount of forwards we've got in the game that are any good is almost impossible. There are so few that it means everyone's got the same ones, and then they just still end up blanking unless it's Harry Kane. Would I transfer Jimenez to Watkins or wait? Jimenez seems to have better fixtures until... I'd probably bring in Jimenez for what? Well, if it's for free, then I'd do it. Tato Tats, thank you for the super chat. Ramsdale, Dubravka, Trent, Rudiger, Cody, White, Dean, Salah, Kulu, Rafinha, Saka, Ramsey, Kane. One free transfer. Should I do Doherty in on bench boost? I don't know how much money you've got in the bank, but I probably would do Doherty in for Cody and then look to your bench boost. But actually, for me, Ramsey's the one that I would look to upgrade. If you've got spare money and can do Ramsey to... How many Arsenal players have you got? Saka, you got 3 Arsenal, fine. So maybe it is not Ramsey, but like taking a punt on Ramsey to like Damari Gray for his double is probably. But then Doherty is probably the move I would do. Cody up to Doherty and then play a bench boost. That bench is Who was in your front line? Like your bench is going to be crazy good. Your bench would be like Adams or Broja, Cody, Ramsey, Dubravka. I'd play my bench boost with that. Thank you very much for the super chat. 550 of you all watching. If you guys, of course, could like the stream, that would be fantastic. We are trying to get to 16,500 subscribers today, and we are only 80 off, and I'm sure there are 80 of you guys in the chat who are not subscribed. So if you guys could, that would be great. Good night, Peter. Thank you for watching. Cash or Cody to play this week. I'd probably play Cash because I think there's a good enough chance that Everton score, and then there's much more attacking threat coming out of Cash than there is from Cody. So, love from Australia. What should I do with Ronaldo? You have him and Jimenez. Can you do Ronaldo to Kane? Like, if you can do Ronaldo to Kane from -4, I would do it. Yeah. Also, if you do subscribe, you will get your name shout out on stream as well. James to Robbo or Doherty. It depends if you need them for Game Week 30, MQ. If you need him for Game Week 30, then you bring in Doherty. If you don't need him for Game Week 30, then it is Robertson, because Robertson is probably the better pick on paper in a like-for-like game week. But, of course, Doherty plays next week, so Doherty would be the one that I would go. Aiden, thank you for subscribing. Bench boost, Thiago Silva, Cody, Ramsey. Thiago Silva with a single, Cody. I probably wouldn't. I don't know who your goalkeeper is, but I probably wouldn't bench boost that. That's touch and go. If you don't have a wild card left, then maybe I'd do it. But Coutinho to Saka for a hit. Coutinho to Saka for a hit. I wouldn't do that. I know. I wouldn't be doing that personally. No. Selling Coutinho from -4 is not something I would really want to do, given how difficult the Arsenal double is. A few of you guys asking about the best double game week, the best free hit team for this week. If I was to free hit, it would look something like this. It would have probably Ramsdale, then double Arsenal midfield and Saka and probably Martinelli. It would probably have double Tottenham attack in maybe Kane and Son. It would have Salah and Trent. If you can't go Son, then go Kulu. It'd probably have Salah, Trent, Robbo. So your defence would be a Tottenham option, a Liverpool option and a Spurs option, and then maybe you go for an Everton one just because they have a nice double. Your attack would be Salah, double Arsenal, double Spurs. Then you're left with like 2 free spots, which maybe you go on some other players that maybe you want to take a punt on the Everton guys for their double, but it's probably not where I'd go. Maybe you take a punt on one of the City guys away at Palace, but it would look something like that. Would I bench boost Foster, Coutinho, Broja, Aït-Nouri? Probably not, because you've got Foster playing against Broja, right? So there's a limit, there's a cap to the amount of points that those two combined are going to be able to score. So I probably wouldn't with those two. I probably wouldn't. Kulu in for Coutinho or Jota? Kulu in for Coutinho or Jota? I'd probably sell Jota. It depends what you need for Game Week 30. Again, but I can't see Jota playing both in the double now, given the form that some of those other forwards are in for Liverpool. and Coutinho plays next week. Doherty and Broja versus Dean and Odegaard. Probably Doherty and Broja. I own the other two, which is so sad. And I just backed against two players that I own. But I would go with those two, I think. Lacazette for a hit for Weghorst with Broja on the bench. I wouldn't necessarily do it for a hit. I just play Weghorst or Broja. Personally. Again, if you need him for next week, then 100% do it and bring the transfer forward a week. But yeah, start to size Dean, Weghorst. I'd probably bench Dean. White, James, Trent, Cancelo, who in? I just play those four. They're all good options this week. Trent, James, of course, doesn't play, but you can put him on the bench. And I'd play the rest of them. Garav, thank you very much for the super chat. Jimenez to Lacazette or James to Robbo. I'm okay for 30. Then if you were going to start both of them, then James to Robbo, because Jimenez is... The difference in points between Jimenez and Lacazette is less than the difference in points between James and Robbo. So I would probably go with the James to Robbo move, personally. Kane captaincy. Yeah, let's put a captaincy poll in the chat. Let's see what you guys... Matip or Ben White? I think Matip will play both, so I'd probably go Matip. Are you all on... Let's put a Salah triple captain and then a Salah normal captain option. In the poll. Kane. Other. Let's see what you guys have got to say. Doherty versus Mings. I'd 100% play Doherty. And I'd probably sell Mings for a -4 if you were going to start Mings this week in order to buy Doherty. Jimenez injured? No. He just went off early, just got rested or subbed or whatever it is called now, but no. Whatever it is now, I do not know. But yeah, I think he should be fine. Kane or Salah captain. So let's see what the poll is. For me, it's going to be Salah. Salah for me. Watkins to Antonio. Watkins or Antonio. This week, I mean, I don't like either of them. Probably Watkins, given the form that Villa are in. But you're not tempted to by doing... I've already got Kulusevski. He's out on the other wing, so I can't go. They've already got him. Gonna hide behind the sofa for the Liverpool matches. I just think Kane is going to get Hawes. United are awful, and I think Brighton will be exhausted after the Liverpool game. That's probably quite true, and there's a lot of logic that you've used there, Benji, that probably is quite reasonable, that Brighton have got to play Liverpool and then Spurs, and playing Brighton second is probably better on Harry Kane. But I've got double Spurs attack, right? I'm already heavily invested in their attack and wanting them to do well, so I don't want to put too many eggs in that basket. Dean to Robbo or Ramsey to Kulusevski for a -4. Ramsey to Kulusevski, I think, is a bit of a bigger upgrade. Will Cancelo play? I think so. Cole, welcome. Thank you very much. Triple captain on Salah or Kane, or bench boost Saiss, Kilman, Dubravka, Jimenez. If you've got your wild card left, then triple captain on Salah. If you have no wild card left, then I would bench boost that. Is the way I would go. Because if you still have your wild card, it means that you can set up for a bench boost later down the line. But if you don't have your wild card, then doing that is going to be difficult. So I'd play your bench boost now. Penguin, how are we doing? Start Dennis over Odegaard and Maddison. Interesting. You're starting Dennis over Odegaard, given that Odegaard has a double. And given the way that Watford have performed, I can understand doing it over Maddison, but I can't understand doing it over Odegaard personally. Salah normal captain is winning the poll. Salah triple captain, 33% of you guys in the stream are on Salah triple captain. Play Hwang or Broja? I'd probably play Broja, hope that he's fit and hope that he starts. Start Broja or Dennis? Again, I'd probably play Broja because I'm not a fan of that Watford attack at the moment. News about Van Dijk. So anyone new to the stream, Van Dijk is one of the players that is rumoured to have had COVID in the Liverpool squad. Now we don't know if it's true, but yeah, we don't know. We don't know if it's true or not. But he is one of the players that is rumoured to have it. You're still torn between starting two of Coutinho, Broja, Jimenez. So let's look at the predicted points for a lot of these players that you are talking about, guys. Of course, you need to bear in mind that this is impacted by the amount of minutes that they're going to play. Broja is on 5.1. Jimenez, sorry, this is over the next two. 3.7 for Jimenez this week. Broja, 5.1 this week, because it presumes that Broja is going to start. The other ones you were after was Weghorst, 4.0, so he's actually above Jimenez. And then I don't know, Dennis is the other one. Is 4.2 this week. Again, it's all a much of a muchness, and I know, guys, there's a lot of you in the chat saying, answer my question. I literally am trying to do my best to get through as many of them as possible. So, start Cancelo over Dennis, Weghorst or Ward-Prowse. Yeah, I'd start Cancelo. Start Broja or Weghorst next week. So, to be honest, looking at the predicted points, is highest for Broja because they're assuming that he's going to start. Because I think there's enough doubt that he doesn't, I'd probably go Weghorst out of the two. Van Dijk, rumours boost the appeal of Lacazette, but Arsenal assets in general get a boost. Yes, they do. 100%. 100%. Is it worth transferring in Kulusevski for Rafinha? If it's for free, then I potentially would look at it. If it's for a -4, then I wouldn't. I don't think that's necessarily worth the -4. What do I think of Daka with Vardy out? Good fixture in 30. Yes, but Iheanacho is also, a footballer alive and kicking that has the chance to come into that Leicester lineup, and we don't know who it's going to be from week to week. Daka is a great option if he starts, and they have a nice fixture in game week 30, but I don't think I'd want to be betting on that. I'd look at the midfield. I'd look at Barnes particularly because he just feels nailed to play. He feels nailed to play. Thoughts on this -8 of Dean, Bowen and James out for Kulu, Robbo and Doherty? Dean, Bowen, James out, all good. Yes, I can't complain about that as well. Please check predicted points for Broja and Jimenez. Yeah, so we did that. It is pretty even between them. It says Broja, but if that includes no risk of him being rotated. A few of you in the chat asking about Shah. I think he'll be fine to play both. I don't see any reason like he shouldn't be playing both now. Should you be playing Broja over Weghorst? We've done this striker chat quite a lot, so we'll come back to it later in the stream, but for now, let's move on to a few other questions. Will Van Dijk being out affect Robbo's potential points this week? If he is out, then yes, because they're weaker defensively and there's less chance of clean sheets without Van Dijk. Would I do Ramsey to Martinelli for a -4 if it means benching Coutinho? Ramsey to Martinelli for a -4 if it means benching Coutinho? No, then I probably wouldn't. That's in theory selling Coutinho for a -4 for Martinelli. I probably wouldn't do that. Cool, let's wrap up this poll. Last votes before we do that. Worth taking a -4 for Doherty. Again, it depends who you play, but yes, if it increases a fixture this week and you're benching someone, you're happy to. And yes, if it means that you get an extra player out next week. Start Dubravka or Ramsdale. Ramsdale if you've got him. Salah's ownership is going to be so high this week looking at that poll that 34% of you are triple captaining Salah this week. Triple captain, if not this game week, then when? It can be played in game week 36, but that's only going to be the case if you don't want to play your bench boost or your free hit in that week. A bench boost or free hit in game week 36 is a better option than a triple captain that week. So if you've got all of those left, then I think triple captain this week makes a lot of sense. Martinelli or Odegaard on free hit. I'd probably go Martinelli just because he's slightly more explosive than Odegaard is. I've got Odegaard and he's great and he ticks along, but I would probably go Martinelli. I don't know what the predicted points Yeah, Martinelli's predicted points are higher as well. That's probably where I would go. Thank you all. Quick reminder, please do like the stream as well and subscribe if you are new. We are chasing 16,500. There are 700 of you in here. Good morning. Good luck in game week 29 to each and every one of you. But if you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Will Cancelo start? I think so. I'm starting him in my team and I'm fairly confident that he'll play. I get Dean off the bench, which is not ideal if he doesn't play, but I think he probably will. Doesn't Salah have another double before game week 36? There's a chance that he could double in 33, but no, not at the moment. Because if they get to 33, then if they get through to the next round of the FA Cup, then he won't be able to have a double in 33, effectively. Walker-Peters or Broja? I'd probably go Walker-Peters. Just like someone asked me earlier, I would go Livramento over him. Lord Oishi, thank you very much for liking the stream. -4 for James and Havertz to bring in Kulu and James. Who's the James, the midfielder? I would... Lord, let me know what the actual question is. Yeah. Start Sanchez or Sarr. I'd go with the double game week goalkeeper. What was my answer on Doherty over Reguilon? I'd go Doherty, basically. Like the stream, support, thank you. Appreciate the support in the chat. Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin? I'd probably go Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin's not looked at it recently. Keep Willock, -4 for Kulusevski. If you need him for game week 30, then yes. If not, then I probably wouldn't bother with the -4. I'd just play Willock. If you need him for 30 when Newcastle don't play, then yeah, bring the transfer forward a week. Jimenez or Broja, again, it's just down to how confident you are on Broja playing. I think he probably will, which would mean I'd probably want to start him. But we don't know if Van Dijk is confirmed out. Apparently he was ill yesterday. We don't know whether he's going to be out or not. But yeah, it's completely up in the air at the moment. Your captaining Kane, very nice. I can understand it. Kane has got 2 good fixtures. He's got his easier fixture second, and Brighton have a tricky double, so they'll probably be pretty tired coming into that game. So but I'm on Salah myself. Does Sancho, Mopai, Kilman, Weghorst warrant a bench boost? Sanchez with a double, Mopai double, Kilman. I probably would bench boost that. Yeah. Cancelo for Doherty for a hit. I cannot get behind that at all. No. No, because no. Effectively, I like Jimenez. Sorry. I like Cancelo as an option this week. Doherty is good, but I can't be selling Cancelo for a hit. That just feels like that's destined to backfire. Hi, Doherty or Target to start? I'd play Doherty over Target if you've got him. Dean or Cody for Doherty? I'd probably sell Cody. Kilman to Doherty for a -4 to bench Rafinha? No, I probably wouldn't do that. Rafinha does have an incredible fixture this week. I cannot go selling him now. Do I think Everton will score? I mean, they've surely got to score at some point, right? In which game it is, I don't know. The Newcastle one feels more likely, but I still think there's a good chance that they score against Wolves. Use the free hit. I don't think it's a great week to use a free hit because the doubles are not amazing. It's a difficult double for all the teams that are playing. It's no players that you really want to target, and then you could end up buying in Everton assets. But again, that's not I don't think that's great. Would I bench boost Watkins, Jimenez, Saiss, and De Gea? Watkins, Jimenez, Saiss, and De Gea. If I was on a bench boost, no, I probably wouldn't. No double game week players in there. If you don't have your wild card, then potentially. But if you have your wild card, then no, I wouldn't. With Rudiger, I think he'll start. I have no reason to expect that Rudiger is going to be on the bench for the next move. Mike, I know you had to go at me last night for ignoring you. Let me find your comment. Do you know what the top 10k triple captain usage by any chance? We can find out. We can find out for you. By who? Odegaard or Martinelli? I'd go Martinelli out of the two. Kane or Son for captain? Kane, if you've got... Yeah, Kane is a better option for me than Son. It's pretty close between them, though, because I do think Son will get chances in these games. However, with Kulu playing, I think the wingers will get more chances, but now they'll be diluted between the two of them. The triple captain top 10k usage is up at 80%. I imagine that goes up to 95% or so this week. When I think about Luis Diaz, again, I think he's a great option, a great player, but I don't think he's a good option because I don't think he's consistently going to start over the next 2 games. So get rid of Rudiger or Thiago Silva for Doherty. I'd keep Rudiger 100%. He's had his rest, so yeah. Is this a free hit? No, so this is my team. I'm very big compliment that you think it looks like a free hit, but yeah, it's just how my team is. I've taken a -4 this week. You're thinking of doing Bowen and Rafinha to Saka and Kulusevski for thoughts. We're selling Rafinha for a hit. I don't love, but the players you're bringing in are good, and the transfers will probably pay off pretty quickly for you. And they both play next week as well in Kulusevski and Saka, so I can see why you'd want to do it for sure. Start Weghorst or Broja. Again, it's pretty close. I literally feel like I've given a different answer to this several times this stream. It just depends on how sure you are if Broja's going to start. If you think Broja's going to start, you go Broja. If there's any doubt, then you go Weghorst. There's a bit of doubt in my mind, so yeah. Ramsey to Kulusevski for a -4. Ramsey to Kulusevski for a -4. Yes, I would do that. But I don't know who you're going to bench because presumably you weren't starting Ramsey. I wouldn't go selling Coutinho for a -4. Ramsey, I would go selling for a -4. Play Rudiger or Cash. Out of the two, yeah, play Rudiger this week. It's a good home fixture against Newcastle. If you're not starting Rudiger against Newcastle at home, then I feel like that's the best opportunity to do it. Personally. Do I reckon Newcastle will score against Chelsea? I think there's a chance, but if you've got a Chelsea defender, you need to play them, right? So, Cancelo to Doherty for -4. Do I think Kilman will start versus Leeds? Sorry, Cancelo to Doherty, no, don't go selling Cancelo. And then, do I think Kilman starts versus Leeds? I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed that he comes back into that lineup. I'm hoping he does. Start Laporte or Rudiger. I would go probably... That's quite close. Probably Rudiger. Salah triple captain is good. Yeah, if you've got your triple captain left, I think it's a good week to play it. Otherwise, his ownership's going to be flat and you're going to be owning Salah without any gain this week effectively. I would be playing it on Salah. If I still had it, it would be going on Salah this week. Yes, so thoughts on selling Son for a hit to get Kane in. Now, this is something that's been asked a lot. And I'm quite surprised about the amount of times that it's been asked. But people doing Son to Kulusevski and Jimenez to Kane, for example. I can understand it, but I just don't think it's worth it. And I think you're asking for too much pain than I think it's worth. I wouldn't be doing it if it was me. But I'm a pretty conservative manager when it comes to these sort of things, that I would err on the side of caution generally. So I probably wouldn't be doing that if it was me. Doherty and Davies, 2 defenders. Yeah, I like them. Doherty is definitely a better option, but is it worth taking another -4 to do Lamptey to either White or Tierney? No, because I don't like the Arsenal double enough, and Lamptey in theory has a double, although he'll probably only play one of them. Odegaard or Saka? Saka for sure is the option that I would be going with. Saka for sure. Van Dijk having COVID, we don't know. We don't know. Apparently he had an illness, but I don't know that. we are going to put subscriber mode on now for the final hour of the stream. It is literally just need to subscribe. There's no timer on it. You can chat straight away. So if you are new and watching and not subscribing, then please do subscribe and we can keep continuing with the chat. But James to Dirty and Rafinha to Kulu for game week 30. James to Dirty and Rafinha to Kulu for 30. Yeah, good moves. I would consider doing the Doherty move this week because James doesn't play, but Dennis or Livramento, who to play? Dennis or Livramento? I'd probably go Livramento. He's got attacking threat and clean sheet potential, so that's where I'd probably go. Morning, guys. Thank you all for joining. Good luck in game week 29. I'm doing my best to answer your questions as fast as possible. Who to start, Cancelo or Rudiger? Cancelo. First time your live stream, I think we have a similar mindset. I'll be here again. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate it. Jimenez or Saiz, which to start? I'd go Jimenez. Who should I replace Bowen with? Kulusevski if you can, or one of the Arsenal guys. Look at someone with a double. Diparpan Dan, thank you for subscribing. Morning, Bella. How are we doing? Who would I keep? Van Dijk. Yes, I especially wouldn't sell him for a hit. I would be keeping him. Yeah. Cancelo to Robbo for a -4. No. I don't know. There's a lot of people. I considered doing exactly the same transfer, and I'm deciding against doing it. So no. The light in here is weird because of the sun this morning. Ampudan, thank you all for the new subscribers. Start Broja or Coutinho? Probably Coutinho. Just the form he's on, he'd be the one that I'd want to start. Dan James to Martinelli for -4. Yeah, I probably would do that. Lacazette or DCL if I'm on a free hit. If you don't have triple Arsenal already, then Lacazette, but I'd potentially have both, right? Because I'd want double Arsenal mids, but on a free hit, I'd go Lacazette. On my wildcard in game week 31, I'd say I'm about 60% yes, 40% no. I may try and save it for later on in the season, but I'm not 100% sure. Kenneth, thank you, and thank you for subscribing. Well, I sell Kilman soon. He looks not nailed anymore. So, for anyone who hasn't used this tool, this is a tool called FPL.team, which basically allows you to look at your team in future game weeks. Now, this is my team for this week, but if we look at next game week, I kind of need Kilman. And if I think he's not going to play, then I'll have to sell him. But for the time being, I'm going to keep him and hope he plays next game week because he has a home fixture against Leeds and that allows me to put out a full 11 of players next week without making a single transfer. So at the moment, I'm hoping that he comes back into that lineup. That's the hope anyway. If I don't have Kane, is it bad? I would say that not having Kane this week, you run the risk of it going pretty poorly if he does really well. But if, for example, if you've got Son, then I think it's a good alternative. If you have no Tottenham attack, then yes, I would be a little bit concerned by that. Start 8 Nori or Luca Dean. Probably 8 Nori. So this website is called FPL.team. FPL team, literally put it in Google. You put your team ID in, up at the top, and it will, just pull up your team, and you can flick through the future game weeks. You can make transfers if you want. I could take out Watkins and bring in a forward, for example, and then it saves that. So it's really great. Thank you all for the new subscribers. James, welcome. Game week 30, free hit, and 31 wildcard. It's possible, but if you're wildcarding in game week 31, I would just try and use a few transfers to get out a team for game week 30 and not have to use your free hit that week and try and save it for later down the line. I'm generally not a big fan of wildcarding the week after your free hitting. You heard me on who got the assist. You should keep doing it. Nice dynamic, behavioural science, and some FPL nows. Good mix. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. For anyone who's unaware, Who Got the Assist podcast between now and the end of the season, I am stepping in to help Tom out, which I'm really excited about. We had the first episode on Monday, and there'll be a new episode coming out on Tuesday morning. So, am I definitely locked now? I would say I'd be surprised if my team is not locked in. So yeah, I'm pretty set on this. My overall rank target. So at the moment I'm 25k. I was 10k before last game week. So my aim is still to try and finish in the top 10k. I'm being realistic that I think it's a pretty difficult target to obtain now, but I think it's possible given the chips that I have left. Rafinha to Havertz or to Mount? Rafinha to Havertz or Mount? Rafinha to Havertz or Mount? Oh, in for Havertz or Mount. I wouldn't be making that transfer this week. I'd keep whichever in that situation that you have. So has to be Havertz. It probably is, but I don't know I'd do it this week if you've got Rafinha against Norwich, right? I'd probably wait on that, personally. Personally, I would wait on that. Start Broja or Joelinton? Broja, probably. I know Joelinton's got a double, but I'd probably go Broja. Probably. It's close. I wonder what the predicted points on him is. Joelinton, 5.6. It's actually predicted to outscore Broja. So maybe go Joelinton. I take it back. I thought it would be the other way around. What Leicester players am I targeting soon? Harvey Barnes and maybe Schmeichel, I think. Looking at their fixtures that they're going to have to make up, I don't mind. Schmeichel makes a lot of saves. Barnes is looking good going forwards. If we knew who was nailed to start up front, then maybe one of those. If I knew who was going to play, if Amati, for example, was nailed to play at centre-back, then potentially him. But yeah, at the moment, just the two that I've just mentioned. How are we doing, Nuclear? Welcome to the stream. I'm on wildcard Van Dijk to Matip. The issue is long term you run a risk with Matip, but it's not a bad money saver. He's nice and cheap, so I probably would potentially do that. When do I plan to wildcard? Probably game week 31 at the moment, but it might be pushed back to game week 34, for example. Haven't completely decided. Salah out for Son and then a -4 for Kane. No. Next week, like maybe. But Salah out for Son. No, not this week. Did I see the news of Henson reportedly going to start because David De Gea is ill? You shared it in the group chat. Let me have a look. For anyone who's unaware, the top link in the... The top link in the description, you can join as a channel member. Tier 1 members basically get you unlimited super chats. You get every question in the chat answered for just $1.99 a month. And super chats are basically that individually. And you get emojis to use. You get a badge in the chat, which upgrades throughout the year. So that's tier 1. And tier 2 gets you the same thing, but you also get added to a... You also get added to a group chat on Twitter with all the other tier 2 members, and I basically can answer your questions Monday to Friday, not just on stream, that whenever you need your questions answering as well. So top link in the description if you do want to join as a member. We've got quite a few joining now and it's great. Doherty for a -4. Again, I don't know who you're selling, but Ahmed has asked, would I do Dean to Doherty from -4, then next week Bowen to Coutinho? Dean to Doherty from -4 is probably going to scrape through as a positive this week, and then Bowen to Coutinho. Yeah, I probably would do those. When do I plan to wildcard? We've been through that. Wildcard 34 gives doubles and 36 and 37 for Chelsea Everton. Yeah, but I could plan for that for game week 31, but I'm not sure I'd have it confirmed if teams had doubles and 36 and 37. Best replacement for Coutinho, you already have Kulu and Saka. I wouldn't be selling him. I think it's as simple as that. And if you've already got Kulu and Saka, then I think there's no need to be selling him this week. Personally, you're skipping you're skipping your lessons to watch my stream. Stay in school. I think it's bad. Go and learn about your biology, cells, and all that. So long ago since I did biology. Well, not that long ago, but long ago that I have suddenly forgotten practically everything that I learned. Do I think Ben Johnson is nailed on for West Ham at the moment until Soufal comes back? Yes. Because I don't see Fredericks getting in that team. Would I bench boost David De Gea says no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't bench boost that personally. I think it's not good enough. If I don't free hit in the game with 30, should I wildcard in 31 then? I think you can. If you can get away with saving it a few weeks down the line, then I think it's also beneficial. But game week 31 wildcard, I put one together and it looks deadly. I just said cells and all that. If you can save it for further down the line, then I would. But triple captain on Salah or Kane? Salah. There's no Salah COVID news. The ones that are being reported is Andy Let's Talk FPL has tweeted saying he understanding is Van Dijk is fine. But he says he's not 100% sure on it. So Kane now a better captain option because of David De Gea illness. Henderson is not a bad backup, but maybe. But again, I'm not moving it off Salah. It's just not happening. What I think of Reguilon, I don't think he's a bad pick, but I worry that there's something at play which is more like serious than. Who'd start, Broja or Rudiger? Probably Rudiger. Cancelo to Tierney for a -4. Cancelo to Tierney for a -4. Yes. No, actually, sorry. Absolutely not, Tom Hudson. No, I wouldn't go selling Cancelo, especially for an Arsenal double that is pretty dreadful. So no. Broja or Dennis? Broja. Watkins or Antonio? Watkins. Konato, Van Dijk and Thiago all not in training if COVID is them. Apparently they're fine though. I'm hoping. But yeah, there's a chance that they don't play. But am I worried about the early kickoff? A little bit, but sorry, I was reading Syed's comment and I was like, what's going on? Oh yeah, go and study. Can you share your 31 wildcard draft? I will. I don't have it now. I posted it on Twitter a few weeks ago. So if you want to scroll back, you can. I'll be posting a video before game week 31 of a wildcard draft. That video will be there 100%. So back 5 for this game week. A lot of you might have James, White, another Arsenal defender, Cancelo, James, Rudiger, for example. If you've got that, then I can see why you'd want to start them all. When is the best time to bench boost? If you have a decent bench now, there's no optimal time to play a bench boost. If you've got a good bench now, then I would go and play it. But yeah, Martinelli would start. I think so. He's looked really good in recent weeks. Peter, thank you for subscribing. Why not sell Cancelo? Because he's got Palace this week. I've got so much value tied up in him. And then from like the rest of the season, you'll want him in your team. And I lose 500,000 of value if I sell him. 500,000 in value if I sell him. So I don't really want to be doing that. So no, I'm keeping him for sure. -4 to play Gordon over Broja. No, I wouldn't be doing that. Shah out injured. I think he should be okay. Best decision to play 3 hit and 30. If you don't have enough players, then yes, but I don't think it's an optimal, like there's better chances to play it. Thank you all who are still watching. I appreciate that a lot of other people have gone live and you are still sticking around with me. I appreciate that. We are 9 subscribers away from 16.5, which was the aim for today's stream. If we could hit that right now, that would be fantastic. And I'm sure there are 9 of you watching who are not subscribed. And if you are not subscribed and you do subscribe, it means you can start asking questions in the chat as well. Is Kilman going to start anymore? Is he going to be benched? I hope that he's going to come back and start. I hope. And I think there's a good chance that maybe he does. But we'll have to wait and see what happens this weekend. But yes, thank you all. Any new subscribers are very welcome. 5 away. Is Broja starting this week? Heard Armstrong and Adams will start. Again, it's a complete guess. I think Broja will start, but am I free hitting in 30? So no. I've had red arrows for the past few weeks, 100% because I've spent the transfers planning for next week. So I have a full team of players out for next week, and it looks like this. The only thing is there's no Leicester in this team, which I might potentially want, but I think I'll probably end up rolling with this. Unless Kilman is not going to play, then I'll have to sell him for my free transfer, but I'm hoping to not have to use a transfer this week. De Bruyne starts. Yeah, I can't see any reason why not. Koinonia. Thank you, Josh. Thank you all for subscribing. Majed, how are we doing? Should I sell Cornet or Bowen to Kulu, since Bowen is injured indefinitely? Bowen is likely to be back for game week 30 after the international break, which is game week 31. I would sell Cornet. I know he has a double, but the West Ham fixtures from that game week are also pretty good. I know you're planning to keep Weghorst with that scenario that I think having double Burnley attack is not needed. So I would probably sell Cornet personally. Watts, thank you. Broja or Weghorst? Again, just how confident are you that Broja is going to start? I'd probably go and start Broja, but it's close. Afternoon, Stian. How are we doing? No question, just a massive thanks for you and your content. Have a good... Thank you, I appreciate it. That is... Yeah, thank you for just popping in to say that. Majed, no worries. We're closing in on 300 likes and we've hit 60.5k subscribers. So let's do a few quick fire questions as well. As I know a lot of you have got questions that you want answered. So get your questions ready in the chat and we'll do a few quick fire ones for a couple of minutes as we've hit our landmark subscriber for today. So, -4 to do Rudiger to Robertson. If you were going to... No, I wouldn't do that. Is Doherty really nailed on? I think he should start both, given the form that he is in. James to Doherty for a -4. Yes, because James is out injured. Mane to Kulu to fund getting in Kane. I don't know who you're selling as a striker. If it's a really bad striker who you're going to have to start, then yes. If you're going to start a half-decent striker, then no. But I do quite like those moves. Is Maddison available this game week? We don't know. He's been pictured in training, so he should be. Suggest a good defender below 5.3 except Doherty. That's the issue this week. I don't know how much Matip is. You could go there. If you're needing a double game week option, you could go Reguilon. If you need an Arsenal option, then Tierney. If not, there aren't that many others that I'd want to buy this week. Rafinha to Kulusevski. If it's for free, potentially if it's for a -4, I wouldn't go doing that. Ramsey to Kulusevski for a -8. It would in theory be one more transfer. So yes, I would do that transfer for a hit. Saka in for Bowen for a -4. Yes, Saka is one of the most obvious picks for this week that a lot of people will want to be owning. Jimenez or Rafinha. I start Jimenez, Rafinha. I'd start Rafinha. Start Broja or Hwang. I'd start Broja, Foster or De Gea. Probably De Gea. -4 for Coutinho to Kulu or Watkins to Laka. Livramento to Doherty from -4. No, I wouldn't do that. Rudiger to Coutinho or Rudiger, Coutinho, Broja start 2 of the 3. I'd probably bench Rudiger maybe. Rudiger or Broja. Coutinho I'd start. I'd bench Rudiger or Broja. And I think Rudiger probably has high predicted points this week. So I'd bench Broja. Saiz, Hwang, Broja, 1 to start. It's not Hwang. It's probably not Saiz either. So Broja. Jimenez or Broja. There's a lot of Broja owners and a lot of Broja questions in the chat today. I'd start Broja. Bench boost. Foster, Jimenez, Coutinho, Aït-Nouri. If you don't have your wild card left, then maybe consider bench boosting that. Only if you don't have your wild card left. Do I do a -4 to take out Ramsey for Odegaard? If Ramsey was going to start for you this week, then yes. But if Ramsey was on your bench, I don't know who was starting, then I probably would not think that's a good move for you this week. Start Rafinha or Coutinho? I probably would go Rafinha, to be fair. If you've got Rafinha and you're not starting him against Norwich, when are you starting him? Like, why are we owning him? So, -4 to bring in Odegaard for Ramsey. Again, it depends on who's on your bench. Don't start De Gea if you own him because he's caught an illness. But he doesn't have a double, so if he doesn't play, then you just get the player off your bench anyway. So our fitness update, I think he should be fine to play both. Coutinho or Jimenez. Coutinho. Is there any other decent triple caps opportunity other than today? Yes. 33, game week 33 and game week 36 are both options, but you may want to be playing other chips in those weeks if you still got them. So if you've got other chips, then this is probably the best remaining week to play it. Ramsey to Kulusevski, again, yes. Like, you're probably not starting Ramsey this week, though. Who to play, Broer or Veltman? I'd probably play Broer, to be honest. I hate that double for Brighton this week. It's not a good one. Sanchez or Sarr? Sanchez or Sarr? Probably Sanchez. I'd go for the double. Take a hit, bringing in Doherty for Rudiger or James. Bringing in Doherty for Rudiger or James. I mean, I'd keep Rudiger because he has a fixture, and if rotation suddenly happened this week out of nowhere, then you'd have an extra player, so I'd do it that way around. Aris, thank you very much for subscribing. You don't have Kulu, Kane or Son because you need to get rid of Salah next week for free up funds. Is that a big problem? No Spurs attack is not ideal this week, if I'm honest. But we know what Spurs are like. One of those two games, they'll probably be rubbish, right? So I don't think it's that bad. If you've got good Liverpool and Arsenal cover, then I think it's okay. I'd be scared because Kane could ruin your rank, but like if there's no other way to get them in than selling Salah, then that's, you can't do it. Matip starts. Yeah, I think Matip's an okay option, to be fair. Lift, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. King to Lacazette for a -4. Yes, if you were going to start King this week, then yes. Ramsey or Watkins? Watkins. I'm not answering questions which include start which of these 4 forwards because we've done it to death so far this stream. We'll do it again, of course, but for now, let's try and rack off a few of the others. Why didn't you read the first part of their name? I wonder. Tierney, Doherty, or Reguilon? Which one is the best pick? Please do 1 to 3 order, thanks. If you have no other Arsenal Spurs defenders, then I would do Doherty, Reguilon, Tierney, because they have more attacking threat than Tierney does. No worries, James. Saka or Odegaard, Reguilon or Doherty. Saka and Doherty, probably. Yeah. Arsenal one is much easier. Oh, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and lift. Fine. Happy to go there now. Happy to read it out. Doherty and Saka or Kane and Amati. Doherty and Saka or Kane and Amati. Start James Ward-Prowse or Jimenez. I'd probably go Ward-Prowse, to be honest. He's one of those players that's due. Quality stream just finished doing the washing up that had built up for the last 3 days and kept me company. Thank you very much. No worries. Should I sell Emerson for Doherty or an Arsenal defender? Probably Doherty. The Spurs double is better than the Arsenal one because they have a Brighton fixture in there. So, and the Arsenal defenders don't have the same attacking output that Doherty has shown over the past few weeks. You brought Tierney in for James over Doherty this week. I can understand it. Like, Arsenal are a better defence than Spurs are, but this week I potentially would go Doherty. Do I have a Chelsea season ticket? Yes, so I can still go to games for the time being, but we're just waiting to hear what's going to happen at the moment. Coutinho out for Kulusevski. No, I wouldn't. If it's for free, then potentially, but if it's for a hit, no. I've taken 1 -4 this week, so anyone who's unaware, my transfers for this week, I did Bowen to Kulusevski and I did Kane in for Dennis, so I took 2 transfers, took a -4. Your differential captain picks, please don't go beyond Salah or Kane this week. Like, Son is about as far as I would want to go. Because they've got good doubles. There aren't good doubles for any other teams that I'd want to consider captaining, so I just wouldn't look elsewhere. If you want to go against the grain, then go Kane, because Salah will be the most captain player this week by far. But this is my first season. You've helped a lot. I was aiming for top 100 and you're ranked 15k. Well, you're beating me, so hopefully I'm doing something right, or you're not listening to me. Arsenal are recruiting new fans. Come back to your boyhood club, Harry. Absolutely no chance. No chance. I'd rather... I've got, like, my mum's family are big Aston Villa fans. Well, her dad was a big Aston Villa fan, and my dad's family are Middlesbrough fans. So, you know, if it came to it that I had to find a new club, it would be one of those two. But I don't see that happening. That's better than me and been playing for 4 years. I know. What a first season that is. Is it good bench boost? Broja, Saiz, Dubravka and Coutinho. If you don't have your wild card, I'd play your free hit. I'd play your bench boost there. If you have your wild card, you can probably prep better for one further down the line. Is it worth saving the free hit for 33 even if I can only play 9 in 30? Yes, as long as you've got maybe Saka, one of Kane or Son, an Arsenal defender in amongst that 9, then I think you're fine. Thoughts on captaining Kane over Salah now that David De Gea is out? So this is, we don't know if it's confirmed, like we've seen it from one source. But, so it seems to be the case that actually he is ill. So it does maybe move it slightly in the favour of Harry Kane, but I still am on Salah. I still back Liverpool's attack over Spurs' attack, because it's easy that Spurs go into one of those 2 games and turn up a Spurs performance, right? And I mean no disrespect to Spurs fans in that, but we know what they're capable of doing in a game. So is Reguilon play both matches? I think he probably will, but because Doherty's looked so good in recent weeks, and yes, Reguilon should play, but it looks like there's been more going on him not playing than just him like being out of favour. Like, not sure he gets on particularly well with Conte or something like that. So let me get it up. The David De Gea news that seems to be circulating social media this morning. Captain Salah, early game jinx. Potentially, but I'm going with Salah. Tried to put the early game jinx behind me. Let me get it up. Sell Coutinho for Kulu only if it's for free. Definitely not for a hit. Cool. So, apparently Henderson is starting today because David De Gea is unwell, apparently. Now, Samuel Luckhurst tends to be pretty reliable, so which is why I'm happy sharing it. Start Lamptey, Dennis, Dean or Ramsey. If I could only start one. They're not a great group of options. I'd probably just favour the double and play Lamptey just for a base point potential, but there's a chance he doesn't play both of those 2 games. So should you triple captain Salah? Should you triple captain Salah? Yes. If you still got a triple captain, I'd be playing it on Mo Salah. Yes. Spurs will tear apart Manchester United's defence. Well, they could do if Maguire and Henderson, but Henderson's not bad, right? I wouldn't change your captain just based on that. You might take a -4 Cancelo to Robbo. I can't see it paying off personally, but yeah, I can't see it personally. Start 2 of Rudiger, Watkins and Tierney. Rudiger, Watkins and Tierney. Bench Watkins. Jimenez and Martinelli or Laka and Ramsey. Jimenez and Martinelli or Laka and Ramsey. Jimenez and Martinelli. Yep. Transfer Cancelo out and bring him back for game week 31, but I lose $500,000 in value if I do that, which I don't like at all. $500,000 in value. It just means that the wildcard team that I want to get, I'm already stretching for funds. I'll be so far away from it. So I don't think I will be doing that extra transfer this week. Who's triple captain this week? So Salah. I don't think it needs to be complicated more than that. I saw a few people talking about moving to Harry Kane now that there's illness news for David De Gea. I think it maybe makes him a slightly better option, but I don't think it swings it that much between them. So yeah, I would still be going on Salah. Start Sarr or Pickford. I'd start Pickford if you had him, to be fair. There's no point not starting him this week. I'd start Pickford. Rafinha or Tony. The best of your team, I'd go Rafinha. Norwich at home. Like, if we're owning Rafinha, I know he wasn't good in the double. But we've got to back him if he's got a fixture against Norwich, right? If he's not going to score against Norwich, who is he going to score against? If you had Mane, would I captain him over Salah? Nope, because there's a chance that Mane doesn't play both games with the, Diaz, Firmino, Jota all being fit. Salah has much less competition in his position than Mane does in his multiple positions. So, Fabinho playing or not? I think so. Don't see any reason why not. If Van Dijk's fit, maybe that makes Robertson a better option, but I can't see myself doing Cancelo to Robbo for a hit. What is my transfer plan? So I've already made my transfers. I sold Dennis to get Harry Kane, and I sold Bowen to go and buy Kulusevski. Leeds will beat Norwich. Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that. That is the way that I would expect that game to go. Cancelo is going to play. I think so. If he doesn't play, then it's another week that I should have sold Cancelo. I should have done it last week and brought James in, and then I could have done James to Robbo this week. But yeah. Oi. Rafinha to Saka or Kulu. How'd you get that chat? How'd you get the font? I love it. Rafinha to Saka or Kulu. If for free, I'd go to Saka. If it's for a hit, I'd keep Rafinha against Norwich. Personally. Start Livramento or Ramsey. Livramento or Ramsey. Between the two of them, I would probably go Livramento. Thank you, William. Sorry. How did that guy change his font? I know. Yeah, I'd go Livramento over Ramsey. I did have a beer last night. I did. How'd that guy change his font? Laka in for Jimenez for a -8. West for a -4. Probably not. Well, I wonder what the predicted points are, but I would Jimenez 3.7. Laka needs to be... Oh, Laka's at 9. So then, yeah. It says it's definitely worth it. So, got 10 double game week players, and we'll get 11 if Cancelo isn't starting. But there's nothing confirmed, so I don't know what to do. Yeah, we're not going to get any news on Cancelo. There's literally nothing we're going to get. I can't see him missing out again if it's Monday night, because the game is so far away. So that I can't see him missing out personally. Just going to see if he's posted anything on Instagram, for example. Nope, nothing. You think Cancelo is going to be a differential this week? He will be quite low owned now, actually. So he's not. Yeah, he probably will be a differential, actually. Where course to Lacazette for a hit? Is it worth it? Yes, probably. What are the predicted points on like Cancelo? I don't know if this is going to alter because if he's flagged. 3.7. It's predicted only 63 minutes. I'm tempted now. Brighton away, Arsenal away. I'm tempted to do it now. Doherty or Reguilon on a free hit. Doherty or Reguilon on a free hit. Doherty. I'm tempted to do it now. How much money do I have in the bank? Not enough to do anyone else tomorrow. Like it. 1 mil. I am tempted to do it. Don't sell Cancelo. Robertson is good, honestly. Salah versus Son versus Lacazette for captaincy. Salah versus Son versus Lacazette for cap. Salah for sure. Me. De Gea out with illness. Yes, it looks like that is the case. So it boosts Spurs' appeal a little bit. Tanvir, welcome. Risk of price change Cancelo if all are dumping him. I mean, potentially, but I can't see him going down like loads and loads. He's predicted to drop tonight, but like that doesn't affect my selling value, I don't think. He's risen 1 mil since I bought him, so it will. It's my mobile keyboard. Love it. So I'd lose like 0.4 value if I wanted to buy him back. But Robbo might go up, like, but he's probably not going to rise twice. He's going to rise potentially. No, because he doesn't play next week, so he won't. Is it worth a -4 to bring in Bowen and Bednarak? Sorry, Bowen to Son and Bednarak to Doherty. Yeah, I would do that. Would get rid of Foster or De Gea, Harry? I mean, if you could do De Gea to a double game week goalkeeper, then I would do it. Vuyil, thank you very much for the super chat. Smith Rowe, Havertz and Kilman to Saka, Kudus, Doherty. So it's either Watkins to Lacazette or Smith Rowe to Kulusevski. I would do the first option and do the Smith Rowe option personally. Oh, but you're planning to bench boost. But Saka is a better option than Lacazette. So yeah, the Smith Rowe option for me. And it sounds like a very good bench boost. Thank you for all the new subscribers as well. Is the subscriber noise loud enough or too loud or what? If no play and skip this week, more Cancelo dumping. Keep up the great work. FYI, I reckon you should get some backing music. Yeah, I potentially could, but yeah, maybe I'll think about it. You just took look at the overall top 10. None of them holding Cancelo now. Oh, you're tempting me. You're tempting me to do it. You are, definitely. The thing is, right, and the reason I'm actually considering it, and there's more than just panic that's considering me to do it, is the last game when Grealish was playing, Cancelo's positioning was not how I want it to be. He was much less attacking than I wanted him to be because Grealish was in his way. And if Grealish is going to start again against Palace, then we could see the same thing happening again, which makes me potentially wanting to go and do it. But what I could do, right? The other thing that I have looked at, is doing Kilman to Doherty. And then I could bench, but then I'd be benching Jimenez. But that's okay. Is that better? And then I keep Cancelo, for example. Like, is that a better use of my transfer? Doing Cancelo to Robbo or Kilman to Doherty and benching Jimenez. Do both. I'd be on a -12. I don't fancy being on a -12. I don't fancy being on a -12. Harry's triple captain Salah the play this week. If you still got your triple captaincy this week, I would play it this week. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to use it. Palace are no mugs. They did beat City at the Etihad last time. They're City's bogey team, I know. What is the... Let me hide this a second and I'll get some more like predicted points things up. They are saying De Gea won't start. Should I sell him with a -8 or is it not worth it? If you've got a backup goalkeeper, then no. But if you can bring in a double game week goalkeeper, then I can. Sousa, thank you for subscribing. Cool. So if I was to do like Doherty in, like he's only predicted 3.6, but is that rotation driven? Doherty in theory for Jimenez and Robertson in for Cancelo. The Robbo move, they look like they think will pay off. It's the money aspect that I worry about. Should I start Broja, Dennis, Watkins or Cancelo? I'd play Cancelo. If he's going to start, he's the best option of them. Exact same dilemma. I'm just trying to... Sorry, I go a bit quiet when I'm trying to like work out things in my head. Do I triple captain Salah or wait for this next double game week? I'd probably do it this week, personally. Cancelo to... Salah triple captain this week. Yes, I would do it. What's wrong with Reguilon as an option? It's not bad. There's just a concern that like there's more going on for him not playing than just like Sessegnon being good. That he's like fallen out with Conte. Like, are they going to play Davies out there? So I'd probably go Doherty, just the form that he's in. You had 0.1 mil in the bank and took the hit to get Doherty for Kilman and bench Cancelo. Bit relieved about that decision now. The price change is fair. Broja, Cash, Dubravka, Holgate. Bench boost. You've got 2 doublers in there, including an Everton one. If he's going to play, I don't know that much about the minutes that he could potentially get. So, Saiss or Broja. Start Saiss or Broja. I would go with Broja and hope that he plays. I plan to use my wildcard at some point between game week 31 and game week 34. Jeremy, welcome. Get rid of Dennis or Broja from the starting 11. I'd start Broja over them. Trying to get Doherty while still have the time. Yeah, well, you still have the funds. Fair. Start Jimenez or Saiz. Fuand, I'd start Jimenez out of the two. I would start him out of the two. Martinelli and Jimenez or Saka and Broja. Probably Martinelli and Jimenez. You're a legend. Please never stop fantasy content. I don't plan on it. Don't you worry. I'll be here for the foreseeable seasons. So if you are enjoying, make sure you're subscribed and you turn on notifications for when I do go live. Who is the best Wolves defender to consider? I don't know anymore. Cody's probably the only one that I think is absolutely nailed anymore. The guy behind me in your mini league is triple captaining Salah. Should you captain Salah or go with Kane to try and get more points? I'd go with Salah in that situation. I don't know how far he is behind you, but... Why not Dean to Doherty? Cash is performing far better than... Because I need him for next week, and my worry is that Kilman's not going to start next week. Right, let's get the transfer page up. I'm not sure I can afford both. Oh, I got exact money in the bank. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. Sometimes, you know, when you think that it's just written in the stars, when you've got the exact money to do both transfers. Oh, no. Alexander, thank you. Welcome. Do Kilman to Dirty. I've got exact money in the bank. Start Rafinha or Adams? I'd start Rafinha. Oh, you had the money all along for Kilman to Doherty. Do it. But now I'm going to be benching Jimenez if I do this. What's the predicted points like on... The thing is, these just are raking down Doherty's minutes. This is... I don't know what to do. Odegaard or Smith Rowe alongside Saka. I'd go Martinelli. So far, you've done Adams to Lacazette and James to Doherty. Should I also get Saka in for Rafinha and Lloris in for Lloris and David De Gea? Lloris in for De Gea is good because De Gea is not going to play. Rafinha, Saka in for Rafinha. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably leave that one if you've got Lacazette in there. Cancelo news, we don't know at the moment. Rudiger or Laporte, you can see both Palace and Newcastle scoring. I can see it as well. Don't take a -4 for both those transfers. As I said yesterday, you're overthinking, but stay as you are. I'm tempted to do one of them. I'm tempted to do one of them. Bring Doherty in. The hit will pay off. I'm sure you all love coming onto stream and just watching me look at my phone. Cash or Dean, who to buy? Cash. You taking Cancelo to Robertson now? I'm tempted to do both, but you'll pick Doherty and bench Jimenez. Doherty is worth to take the risk. I'd be on a -12. But I'm adding like fixtures every time. It's a double game week. Just stack up on doublers as much as possible. Do Kilman to Doherty. It takes one injury for another Liverpool mid spot to open up. I'm taking that move, Harry, now for a -4. This should be a -8 though. Oh. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. Yeah, but don't want to play catch up. You want to be on the front foot. What's the point of making your points back? Yeah, but like Robertson could easily outscore Cancelo by 4. And Doherty could easily outscore Jimenez by 4. Took a -12 last week and got 126. Like, how often do -4s pay off, though? Like, -12s pay off. Jimenez is away at Goodison Park, and if Man City had a rough time, then surely Wolves will. But, yeah. How long do I have? 20 minutes. Why is everyone selling Broja? Because there's a chance that he doesn't play. There's a few rumours floating around that he might not start. A few rumours floating around that he might not start. I think Jimenez starts this week. I'm so torn about what to do. I'm tempted to do one of them. I'm not sure I love the Doherty move, but then like it will remove the risk that Kilman doesn't play next week. Robertson or Doherty? Robertson probably this week, but over the next 2, Doherty. Just bring Doherty in to double your chances at getting points. Same happened with James. Do one because Everton are bad. What? Yeah, and play Jimenez. Banana, thank you for subscribing. Is it worth doing Lamptey to Doherty for a hit? Probably, because I don't see him playing both games. Mount to Kulu for a hit. Yeah, I probably would. I'm going hit crazy this week though. My overall rank is 25k, but with a -12, it will drop to like 35k. Live. Let me check the what if scenario. Like if I took -12s off. Add, why no Cancelo when he's expected back? Well, he's not gone yet. Like, I'm considering selling him for Robertson, but start Cancelo, Dean, Broja, or Dennis. I'd start Cancelo if you've got him. It would drop me 10k in rank, those 12 points. I'd be starting the game week at 35k with 9 double game week players. You'd hope for a green arrow from 35k, but Everton can't be that bad against teams who are similar level like them. Frank will definitely feel that game has a high possibility of getting the 3 points. They've been so poor recently, though. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Is it worth taking on -8 to bring in Dubravka, Saka and Kulusevski for De Gea, Bowen and Olise? Dubravka, Saka and Kulu. Dubravka, Saka and Kulu for De Gea, Bowen and Olise. Yes, 3 good moves. Even though it's a -8, those moves are good for you long term. Weghorst to Lacazette for -4, even though you're free hitting in 30. I think Lacazette should outscore Weghorst by 4 points this week. So yes, I would do it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just err on the side of caution. Because, like, what's the best case scenario? What's the best case scenario for this? That Robertson maybe keeps a clean sheet and gets an attack and 2 attacking returns. Like, that's probably realistically what his max is, which would give him what? Like 15? I can't see him going above and beyond 15 points. That's 11 with a -4. And the worst case scenario is Cancelo gets a 2. Like, the worst case scenario is that I'm 10 points down on that one. The Doherty one, again, is something similar. The best case scenario, like, in theory, the other side of the coin is, you know, Liverpool don't keep a clean sheet and Robbo doesn't get an attacking return and he gets 5 points. Cancelo keeps a clean sheet and gets some bonus, scores 9. Doherty again gets rested. Doherty gets rested for one of the 2 games. You know, he doesn't play the game in the middle, for example. Then he plays 1. They don't keep a clean sheet against United, and Jimenez scores. Like, which is more likely? I think it's quite... I would, going through it, I think that the second option is more likely, where it goes badly for me taking the hit. I think. Which would imply that I should not make any more transfers. Bench order: Dean, Broja, Dennis. Broja first, Dennis second, Broja third. Cancelo or Dyer? Cancelo for me. Broja or Watkins? Who would I start out of the 2? Broja or Watkins? Broja. What I've seen on Twitter, everyone is crazy about Dirty. No wonder he got a price rise so quick. It's true. He might be the most transferred in player this week, which again scares me. He's had 500,000 transfers in. Robertson's had 150k transfers in. Like, Cancelo's had 400k transfers out. I think I might do it. Triple captaincy on Salah, considering contract ongoing issue with Liverpool. Is it going to affect his performance? I don't think so. What 2 should I start out of Rudiger, Broja and Jimenez? Weghorst, sorry. I literally just read that question. I'd bench Jimenez probably. The guys on the FPL wire all agreed they would take a hit to get rid of the Wolves defender for Doherty. But he's not going to start for me this week. This is the thing. Like, he's not starting for me. He's on my bench. I'd be benching Jimenez, who I think is set to start after the performance Wolves put in last week. I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to do it. I can't see Cancelo being out, but that's not what's swaying me. Triple capped or bench boost? Which should I go for? Triple cap or bench boost? If you still got your wild card, then triple capped. If you don't still have your wild card, then bench boost. I don't know who's on your bench though. Triple captain Son, I would still be going. Salah or Kane. Do it. Game's supposed to be fun. Start 2. What are the underlying stats of Doherty like? Like, is he just massively outperformed or has it been reasonable? Like, if we filter to just defenders, for example, and look over the past, like 5 game weeks. Points, like Doherty is here. Expected points, he's a bit lower down actually. Let's go for a slightly more. Hope you replied to message with less streamers now. Yes, guys, keep firing them away. I am trying to decide on my transfers though. He's down there. But if we go like per start, hide low minute players, there we go. Like Doherty is top expected points per start over the last 4 considerably. Like his XG is 0.28 per game. His XA is 0.28 per game. 5.9 expected points per start. Who are they playing though? Who is their double against? Man United away, Brighton away. Man United, I don't necessarily see a clean sheet there, but he could get an attacking return. Ku, Cash and Kane in for -4. Yes, definitely. That was a good question about Salah. Might have some issues with performance. I don't think so. I don't think so. Odegaard or Kulu, who's the best option? Odegaard or Kulu, who's the best option? Kulu. Hit for Foden or Mount to Saka? That's quite close. Foden is probably a better option this week, but long term, probably Mount. So probably Foden out. Should I do it? Should I do it? I kind of want to. My plan at the beginning of the week was a big hit. Would I take a -4 for Kulusevski instead of Coutinho? No. Is Cancelo playing? I think probably, but I don't know. Rafinha to Kulusevski for a -4. No. Coutinho or Adams this week. Probably Coutinho. Kulusevski, Lacazette, Doherty for -8. Is it worth it? Kulusevski, Lacazette, Dirty from -4. Is it worth it? But I'm doubling up on Liverpool defence when I got double Arsenal attack. Like, just doesn't feel worth it. Salah's dipped no non-pens goals in the last few games whilst Kane is on fire. The ownership of Spurs defence is so high. Liverpool defence is so high anyway. Salah has dipped no non-pen goals in the last few. Kane is on fire. I'm not moving my captaincy, and I think I'm going to do these transfers. Stick to my gut. Cancelo to Robbo. Kilman to Doherty. Any news? I would risk Cancelo not playing if Liverpool concede 1 goal. All the points are gone. But Robbo's attacking numbers are good. Yeah, but without Diaz, they're not as good defensively. Like, he's up there, like 5.2 points per start. He's up there. It's not whether I think Cancelo's going to start or not. But I've got to do it early enough to... We don't really usually create that much against Brighton, but... How about doing a poll of Cancelo? I'm not doing a poll. That doesn't help the situation or not. Cancelo, Doherty for -4. Kilman, Doherty. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And here's the reason why. Right, Robertson could easily get something in one of the 2 games. But all it takes him is to blank in one of the 2, right? Which could easily happen. Cancelo, I think he's going to start. And there's a chance that he matches that single game week. That he gets a return, like a clean sheet against Palace, for example. I can't see Robbo exploding, and I may end up being wrong again. And I will kick myself if I'm wrong. Kilman, Doherty from -4, like he could easily be benched in one of the 2. That one I could still do. The Cancelo to Robertson one I don't think I want to do. The Doherty in is potentially a transfer that I want to make, the way he's looked. But again, we know what Spurs are capable of, but they've worked pretty hard defensively in the past few games. But yes, they've played Leeds and Everton. Like, it's not easy. They're easy games for them. But when Doherty's on high on confidence, you know what he's capable of doing. They've got Brighton. They've got Brighton away, United away. You'd probably expect United to score, but Doherty could be involved in the attack. But like a 12-point deficit, and I would fall as much as I've fallen. So I think I'm going to leave it. Some say the Irish Hakimi. All I'm saying. No, don't say that. Kulu, Cash and Doherty in from -4, not Kane. I like those players coming in, but Cash is not a great one in this week. Maybe you can save a transfer on him, but you might be freeing up money. Liverpool FC wingbacks Tapmore with Thiago Silva is not playing. Salah also suffers. Robin Trent will deliver Harry. Don't say these things, man. think that was the right idea. Doherty could be a trap this week. Without Thiago, is Thiago? Do we know Thiago's not going to play? We don't know if he's not going to play. No, I'm not doing it. 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 Play Thiago Silva over Cody. Yes, I'd play Thiago Silva. Bench boost or not, Dubravka, Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Broja. Yes, I would probably bench boost that. Yeah, but Van Dijk was rumoured and it looks like he's going to be okay. So, well, I don't know. But James Dorora for -8. No free hitting 30. Yes, because James is not playing this week. Ramsey to Odegaard. Ramsey to Odegaard. Yes, I probably would. It's almost deadline, guys. Remember to check your teams, please. Check your teams that they are all locked in. We are good to go on my end. Ramsey to Odegaard for a hit. If you were going to start Ramsey, yes, I don't know who you'd be benching. You need cash, and otherwise you can't afford Kulu. Fair enough. He's a good option next week to have cash. You have Doherty in your 11 and Davies on my bench. Should I start Davies instead of Rafinha or Broja? Or keep him on your bench? I just keep Davies if you've got on your bench if you've got Doherty. You asked an Everton fan on Scout, who's one of the founders of Scout, and he said Jimenez will have a hard time against them. You should do the Robbo move, Harry, because Liverpool now attack a lot down the left due to Diaz. Do I have time to do it? Do I have time to do it? Ha! Oh my god. Oh my god, I did it. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what have I done? Oh my gosh. What have I done? I've done it. I took a -8. I don't know why I've done it. I've done it. That's the deadline. Oh no, I need to go and have a lie down. If Robertson does something today, I need you to blow up my notifications. But I also need you to come into my DMs if he gets sent off and tell me that everything's going to be okay. I know, Jaden, I know. But I've done it. It's time to relax. I need a breather. I need to go and have a cup of coffee. Need to go and have a cup of coffee, I think. Not gonna lie, you wouldn't have done it. Not gonna lie, you wouldn't have done it. It's done now. It's done now. We can't go back. We can't undo it. Jimenez drops first to the bench. Doherty starts. I'm in a bit of shock. I'm a bit speechless. I've never done something like that before. Ramsey or Watkins, you ended up back in Watkins. Jaden, 100% you made the right call. I 100% would have done the same thing. I apologise if I didn't read your comment and you've just spent the whole stream trying to ask me and I've not read it. I apologise. But you've made the right choice. That's exactly what I've done. Oh, feel like I need a little bit of a breather after all that. No worries. These things happen, guys. It is just a game, and I hope that things pay off. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in and all the new subscribers today. Good luck this game week, everyone. Let's hope that we get something from Robertson and Doherty. I'm on a -12. I start the game week at -35. I start the game week at rank 35k. I'll be back with a video on Sunday. Good luck this week all. Hopefully Robertson does something and I get lots of notifications from you guys. And I will bring it up this stream in the next video, of course, if he does something. Thank you all. Good luck this week. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye, guys.